Good morning, people. Good morning, audience of this ad hoc ranking program. And today is a specific pick, such as very important, crucial, specific pick. Let me fix that. All right, all right. I don't have a formal studio and those like who. Have you seen those politicians, before they go on camera, whether they're like presidents or dictators or whoever it is, and those women come in like with brushes and like. I said that was funny. Anyways, now on a serious note, whoever you are in Washington, to flinch now before the threat of China, you will have literally and virtually taken the United States back 100 years. As a matter of fact, if you flinch now, you will not recover. United States will not recover before China or anywhere else for that matter, right? The next episode will be far more serious and consequential. Chinese regime will come with like all kind of far more aggressive stand, and they will expand the sphere of their attempts. Like my guesstimate is that next one will be Japan, right? Because they have this dispute of Senkaku Daiu Island. I can't emphasize enough, folks. This is the moment of truth, the Bay of Pigs moment of truth. Now, yesterday I thought it was McDuffie who said game is on. It turns out to be Dunham. So Dunham, ham, that's like an English name. Apparently they used to Dunham, like they used to eat a lot of ham, and that's why they got the name Dun and Ham. Dun is, we have something like that similar in Arabic. Dun is like a big container of wine, dun of wine, right? Dun of khamar, they used to drink. I don't drink. Anyways, so wine and ham. I think it's your duty now to come out and say, remember what you said in North Korea during the North Korea fiasco and mishap of Trump. You said game is on, right? I think time for you to say something like that, MF. It's your duty. It's not just time for you. It's your duty and others too to say something like this. Now I'm going to give you an example. China will not take on a military such as that of the United States, which is far more lethal than right now. It's more lethal than any military in the world, really. Those Fs, plural, F, that 15, that 35, that 22, that 16. Oh, that 16, man. That 18. Oh, Super Hornet. Oh man. I don't love them. I love flying, but I don't. I don't love them because they're what you call instruments of murder. If it's an engagement in the air, I'm fine with that, right? Because when you come up there, it's at your own desire. Nobody forced you to do so. So nights, nights engagement. But when they drop like those ordnance on neighborhoods and civilians, like that motherfucker Trump did in Mosul, accusing them of being ISIS when there's really no ISIS there, right? Killing hundreds of thousands and shit like that, and then Russia and Syria, and well, this is not the subject. The subject now is this: China will not. China is bluffing. It's most definitely bluffing. They've been living on bluffing for a long time now. Here is my proof. I will prove it to you. Not too long ago, they came at Japan. They coming at you, man. Because of those Daiwu Senkaku Island, which I consider Japanese, right? And they flinched because Japan had to call their bluff, not because they're the United States military, but Japan had no choice. They're being under assault by those fucks and who just like who were a pauper, you know, like the poor guy with personality problem in the neighborhood, and who just wins the lottery, right? So they win the lottery, and what happens? Now he goes about with his personality problems, trying to knock everybody out and shit like that and whatever, right? Well, this is not an economic situation here, from rags to riches, you know. But now their main benefactor is really the United States and Western Europe, and guess what? They're coming at them, right? You know, that's called the biting the hand that fed it, right? Nonetheless, it's not like something came from China and then now they're taking it back. Oh, no, 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 no. What came here in the West is from the Arabs. Those Arabs, man. Anyways, but Arabs don't mind, you know, like they consider all this like around the Mediterranean, all those like people, you know, Arabs are cool people, you know, they're not racist. Never were, well, we were before Islam, but after Islam, they never are. Anyways, so, and what happened? They flinched before Japan, and then later they attacked the Indians, right? People in India, and they killed some 50 or 54 people, not because they're braver, you know, or have more courage, or boast more courage than the people of India. Oh, no, no, I assure you. That's not the case, but they surprised them, and the Indian people from India didn't think something like this is going to happen. They were just taking them and killed 54 of them. And then what happened? A standoff happened, like full-fledged war was going to break out. Well, you know the rest, right? So you think Chinese dumb idiots, and now I think this rooster, oh. Say don't play with fire. Oh, I think it's him who shouldn't play with fire. You think they're gonna take on the United States military, which is far more lethal? I assure you, if any conflict breaks out in the Pacific, the United States Air Force and Navy and submarines and blah, 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 even if it's hardware to hardware, they will finish off China so fast. You know, those Fs, I know them, motherfuckers, you know, like, they will finish off China so fast. I predict 5 days of conflict if China commits like all at once, right? You know, oh, they will be picked off like turkey shoots. Turkey shoots, you know, Dan Ham knows what turkey shoot means, right? There's this guy who shut down like 30 or 34. You know, I don't know. I have admiration and respect for the Japanese people. And I think they were done wrong, motherfuckers. You can accuse them of Pearl Harbor or all you want, but that started before that. Flying tigers and Lee and whatnot. But that's not the subject. And then here you go. That's 2 times. But then there is more, because now Chinese economy, right, depends wholly, I mean, like, it's a world factory, right? I coined that term before. And I coined another term. I say, this is the economy that is genetically modified and failed to reproduce. But now, nonetheless, their main markets of the stolen patents, of the stolen jobs, of the stolen middle class, held by Israel, motherfuckers, they transferred all that to them. Eventually, they will come to realize that was a big freaking mistake. Why? Because they're following the footsteps of the Sassoon with their opium war on China. Remember the Sassoons, those Iraqis, motherfuckers? Anyways, so that's it. What I'm saying is they will not risk that market, right? The major market of China is really the United States, and then in Western Europe. And in the context of economy and market, I would say United States ought to return jobs back here. And I made a hashtag where nobody put anything in there, but I know some people read it. That it's time to restore America, right? You know, that's what I am advocating. Do I like you motherfuckers, you Biden and Obama and shit? No, 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 no. But there's a little bit of difference here between the United States and the United States did a lot of damage in Iraq, man. You're like that. By the way, in the Middle East, all that will be reversed. You can count on this. Things, you know, like the time span and the time course of is different than yours, folks. At one point in time, there will be a war where you ain't even there, right? Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. You know, like today's what happened today, the Crusaders are gone, and so are the early Muslims, and so are whoever they are, the Christians, whatever it is. There's a new world now, right? This is superficial a little bit, the upper echelon and the lower, the masses, they're different there. But the future holds something like that, and part of it. Anyways, that said, you cannot flinch. You cannot flinch now, because if you do, next episode may spill World War, right? And then China now will have their guns drawn and so on and so forth. Then what are you gonna do? You have a dilemma on your hand. So done, time for you to say game is on, or well, at least say it out in the open, because these guys, I assure you, when those roosters in the Chinese regime realize that this is a serious game, oh, they will refrain from making such statements. Consider this a prophecy, man. Men, consider this a prophecy. If conflict breaks out between China, and I made a video on that before, or I wrote something about that United States should prepare for a conflict in the Pacific, because if anything is going to happen, that's going to happen there. I think between Japan and the United States in World War II. Now it will be between China and the United States. So I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think China is going to make good on their boast. I think their bluff will appear and so on. Now there's something you can do. I don't do usually, but you can do that. Jewish magic. Alchemy is Arab. Black magic is Jewish. So you can do some black magic and Hadassah Nancy Pelosi, rabbi. How do you say rabbi for female? Rabbias or something? Anyways, she can appear suddenly in Taiwan, right? Like they say, give the roosters the slip. So give them the slip, motherfuckers. Put her on some kind of F-15 or whatever it is, right? And then she can whiz by even above their, next to their carrier or ship or something like that. And they don't know the commodity or the valuable commodity on that F-15 or whatever it is, and she can just land in there. So, folks, I'm going to take this a little bit on a serious note here. I don't understand why Biden and Obama, do you remember Obama bowing down to the Chinese rooster? I mean, to me, that was like, what the heck, You can't be so dumb. You can't be in the White House of such a nation and you be so dumb, right, as to bow down to. That was intentional, folks. I have made videos on my YouTube account called Sunsetting the United States, meaning the establishment here in the US ever since John Kennedy. They are sunsetting the United States. Intentionally, they are destroying it. They passed everything that has value within the country and spread it out, and then on its account they're stealing trillions. But then again, that's a different story. However, those videos are there, called Sunsetting the United States. They're on my YouTube channel. I am suspicious. Why is this guy Biden, doing what he's doing? There's no doubt in my mind that when this threat came through, the first threat came through, the answer should be straightforward right there and then. You can't turn your back or wait on it or let it fester, right? You can't let it fester, people. So no, I will call Chinese bluff on this one, and those roosters, I'll produce one of those lynx cats, or something like that, and they would run. They can fly a little bit. If they're in danger, roosters and chickens, they can fly a little bit. Like I've seen them. They can fly up to 2 meters high, if they need to. They flap their wings very fast, and they can apparently with that process, they attain lift force, and then they can rise like up to 1 or 2 meters, and then they can escape the lynx. Bobcat, give them a bobcat. I love those cats, man. Now wait a minute, those can jump high, very high. So try like one of those Maine Coons. They don't jump. So I need not emphasize on you. I think Biden said that the military is looking at it and so on. Why is the military looking at it? Motherfucker. What are you talking about? This is a straightforward answer. This is the Gulf Pay of BRICS in 1962 when John Kennedy put the Soviet Union under Islam. Well, by Allah, by Allah, if John Kennedy, by Allah, if John Kennedy did not do what he did in 1962 or 63, you know, during that standoff with Khrushchev or whoever it is, you will see many places in the world being communists, and you will see communism having dominated the United States. But look, you know, they're here now, right? Trump and whatnot and so on. So what he did is delay their advances by some 60 years or something of the sort. Yeah, that's what he did. Had he not done what he done, had John Kennedy acquiesced to the Soviet Union, believe me, much of the globe now would be like red flagged. That was the ramification and consequences of it, and that's what John Kennedy did. Rest in peace, man. And now you see those like bugs in the White House and here and there, like trying to entertain some political or diplomatic tone or shit like that. What are you talking about, motherfuckers? Right now is the time to call that China's bluff. Right now is the time, or say goodbye to the United States. Period. I can't emphasize more on this, because if your military cannot figure this out, I don't know why are there generals in there and so on and so forth. I thought when not McDuffie, I said McDuffie, but I'm wrong. I think it's Dunham, right? When Dunham said that game is on, if so-and-so game is on to North Korea, believe me, that statement and his stand alone influenced a lot the situation there, and it put a damper on North Korea, right? And otherwise, if there was no such military involvement or declarations or stand or show of willingness to do so, that also may have actually escalated into something nasty. So there you go. You can't flinch now. You can't. Just give him the slip. Jewish magic, you know, black magic, right? You know, they have black magic. Oh man, they do that on me sometimes, and I feel it in my head. But they're not going anywhere with that. I'm gonna reverse what's bewitching on the magician. Have a nice day, my friends. Whoever listening to me, don't flinch. Don't. You have no clue. You have no clue how much flinching will, how much damage, irreparable damage, flinching before China will do to the United States and the world now. Good day, my friend.